I wanted to do a quick review on the new VULCAN MIGMax 215 that I purchased from Harbor Freight. It's a new line of welders, improved line of welders that they've started carrying in their stores. I think they knew that pretty much some of the stuff that they had were Chicago Electric stuff was pretty much garbage. I myself went through about 3 of the small wire feeds. This is going to be an upgrade to what I was using, which was a Lincoln flux core welder with 125 amps. This is a welder, has its stands. I looked at it a little in the store. It's a pretty good, decent build quality. Nice looking welder. Doesn't hurt that it's orange, which is my favorite color. You can see that it's got a nice quick start panel on the side. The cast aluminum, got a good nice looking drive system, aluminum. Over here in the box, it comes with 2 cords to run with your 220 and 110 with I'm just hitting my auto zoom. So with that kind of connector, quick lock, not a great connector, but it'll work. Then 110 like a dryer, 240. Here's your 120 plug, hooks in the back of the welder, so you can switch it over and run 110 or 220, 240. Comes with a little gauge, sheet metal gauge, has the gauges on it, and you flip it over and they do the decimal equivalent of those gauges on the back. It's pretty nice little add-in. Has the 2-dial type regulator. I will say that I had to go back to the store because the one that came in there, no damage to the box, as you can tell. It was one of the lenses was gone. It was bent and the needle was bent up, so I went back and luckily, I guess this is new enough, they hadn't got rid of the other gauges that come in with the stuff, and they gave me another one. Another nice thing they do, this fitting will fit argon, will fit your C25s, which is argon CO2 mix. But the CO2 has a flat on the bottle, so you can put this on your bottle and then screw this regulator in, and also use it for 100% carbon dioxide. Give you a couple of tips. And then the one in the gun is a 30, a couple other 30 thou tips. This nozzle is for running flux core so that you don't damage your nozzle for gas, shielded. You get a 30 thousandths wire, ER 70S by 6, little 2-pound spool of that wire for gas shielded. You get roll flux core. On the machine they have a 25 thou to 35 thou roller. This would be for your solid wire. And they also give you a 35 by 45 knurled roller, which is for your flux cores. It helps with the feeding of the flux core so that you don't crush it, which is nice. The gun, it's alright. Trigger feels cheap. The body of the gun actually feels good. The little clip's kind of cheap. The hose feels real nice, and I went ahead and hooked it up into the connection, and that felt pretty good. The ground clamp, it's the actual cord or cable, feels good. I'm not a big fan of this type of ground. I guess you could replace it, but it'll do for now. One of the things that I would probably do in the future is probably change this out to the glass tube with the metal ball in it. You get a deal in here, comes in the sheet, and you get 20% off. As we all know, when they send you the 20% off and 25% off in the mail, you have all these things that you cannot use it on. Of course, all the name brand stuff you can't use it on. Well, this one you can use it on wire, electrodes, gloves, helmets, cabinets, foot pedal guns, torches, tips, anything Vulcan. Protective equipment, I saw their gloves. They're actually MIG and TIG gloves were actually pretty nice in store. They don't have the helmet yet. I'd like to see it. The welding cabinet's really nice, and the gun and the spool gun and the TIG torch are not available yet in the store. I will say that this is also set up plug and play when you buy the spool gun. This gas port here in the front is when you do the spool gun to run aluminum. The gas port for the normal is on the back. Here on the face, you can see, I get in there close. It's got auto settings on it. Here's your on. Here's if it goes past temp or you push it past its deal. And then you have a synergic. So when you're doing it in auto mode, you can go from 25 thou, 30 thou to 35 thou wires. And you put it to your gauge of your metal. Over here you have from flux core through your stainless C25 or with steel, and steel C100, which C25 is the gas and C100 is 100% CO2. And then you have the spool gun here. So pretty nice. Everything feels good. Here's your wire feed speed. I think it goes from 50 to 500. But of course they've got it in alphabetical. I never did totally understand that. The amperage range is either in numeric or you have your gauges. So no, overall I'm pretty impressed with the build. Seems to be a nice welder. I've got my bottle of C25, 25% argon, or 25% carbon dioxide, 75% argon, which is a real good common, helps with shielding. In a later video, I don't have a welding table right yet. Don't want to be welding on that wood workbench there and cause a fire. I am hooked up. I had a RV plug, so it's a 50 amp, and I got extension cord for when I hook up my RV to the house so that I can cool it down and air condition stuff. Made me a pigtail that will go to the welder so that I can test it on 240 volt, and I'm also going to test it on 110. So I hope you liked the video. I hope it helps somebody out if they're looking at this particular welder. I will, after posting this one, I will get together and do some welding with it. Need to weld me up a little welding table, and maybe I'll do that and video that while I'm working on it, and then actually do some test welding. Give me some comments what you would like to see or ask questions to do, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. I'm not a professional welder, but I have done some welding with MIG and stick, and even way back when I did some oxyacetylene when I was a kid. Dad taught me how to weld, and from then on I've pretty much done welding. Any welding that I needed doing, if I had a welder, I typically did it myself. Wasn't doing anything that had to be certified or anything, built trailers, that kind of thing. Anyway, I appreciate y'all's time. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you. Bye.